contributes to the love for football in Africa. I don't know if it's because they're so far away from like the mainstream like teams and leagues. When they see it on TV, it's like, wow, that could be a factor. But like watching football with Africans and watching football in a pub, like the pub is lit, but Africa, they love it too. Like the love for football is different, man. Like you can see it in their eyes when they're seeing players and that, you can see the sparkle in their eyes. I think the love is deeper.
If you go in any alley or any like neighborhood, you will find kids playing football. Football is something that goes in the vein for Moroccans. It's the number one sport in Morocco, and we grown up watching football with our dads, with our family. So yeah, it's been quite a journey for African football, the Moroccan football.
We play in the street. It's like something we do every time. I tell to my mom I will go just to go to search something in the market, and we go for no limit to play football. It's something in our blood. It's like Brazil of Africa. We make a game. Sometimes we play 2 games in the same day, and something insane. We love football.
C'est la meilleure équipe dans le monde, خميسة.
Football's everything here, man. It's big, man. Like you can compare it to like Brazil and stuff. Like football is everything. You can go to the parks, you can go to the streets. There's kids playing football everywhere. Like it's real culture. That's really part of the culture. It's the identity even. I understand the street footballers in the ends now because of here. Do you get me? Everyone learns their skills on like a cage type of environment. We don't have that anymore in London.
We have good players, we have good coach, we have many good coaches, and also me, I'm like 63 and I'm playing now, so you see me, I'm playing. So in Morocco, we're smart, you know, we are smart and we have intelligent. So maybe that's why even we don't have, physical, we're not playing physical, even we don't have physical, but we play smart.
Can't lie to you, it's my very first Afcon, and I'm loving it, man. The fact that all African cultures are coming together to celebrate African football made the best nation win, that's what I say. Africa's football mad. Africa is football mad. Like literally, people give up their whole wages simply to go watch the African Cup of Nations or the World Cup or something like that. They come together, watch football together, eat together. Everything is done together, and that's what we love to see.
You got guys from smaller nations. When they go against the top nations, they don't care. They're playing like they'll play anyone. They'll put the same energy, same grit. No one gives anyone that sort of respect. That's what I like about it. And also just the vibes, man. Premier League, cool, you get people chanting throughout the game, but then are they dancing? Like you're seeing people dancing throughout the game. They're playing music at half time. Like it's proper vibes. Like it's not just, I don't know why in the UK, like football's like, oh, it just has to be football. When they see a bit of people enjoying it, I don't know why they look down on it.
For me, the biggest difference in the stadiums there was, one, the attendance. I feel like every game was packed out. But I also think like they maintain the energy for the whole game. I feel like everyone knows Africa is different compared to Europe. So being there, and even at the last Afcon in Ivory Coast, I had the same feeling of like, I'm in a great position, and I should never take it for granted. As people, obviously you see everywhere you go, people playing in the streets. And it kind of reminds me of how I grew up in a way in London. Like I was always out playing with my friends and things like that. So to know that there's kids in an even more difficult position than I was, it always reminds me to stay humble and always give back when I can.
Encouraging to see how CAF throughout the years has built not only the federation but this tournament to be a display of total African football, including the diaspora. When you have somebody from your hometown, even in the diaspora, that knows where they're from, and also takes pride in that, it'll encourage people to look into it more. So it's growing. The Moroccan people have welcomed us with such warm arms, so they've been super kind. But it's been amazing to meet Nigerians, Congolese, Senegalese, people from Ivory Coast, from Cameroon. One of the beauties of Afcon is that it really promotes African unity. So you see an Algerian fan celebrating with a Sudanese fan. You see the Congolese with the person from Botswana. So being able to bring the whole diaspora, not just the diaspora, the whole continent together in one place is just, it's beautiful to see. And with everything going on in Africa right now, there's nothing more important than African unity. And I think Afcon is a vehicle for that. I mean, Didier Drogba stopped the Civil War. It's proof in the pudding, bro.
Growing up in my household, I was only surrounded by Algerians, you know, and even going back home every summer, I'd say I grew up there partly. So for me, it's like, yeah, it's a part of me. Having both parents being from Algeria, I've never felt like I've been away from Algeria. It's almost like I'm living in Algeria within the UK. And also having friends, you know, London's a very diverse place, so you always bump into an Algerian here and there, so you're always in tune and you're always with an Algerian somehow.
It's my mum, man. It's all my mum, I can't lie. She made sure that I always spoke the language inside the household, and she obviously just reminded me of my background and my heritage at every moment, because I'm Tanzanian, so there ain't a lot of people that are from my background. So she's the only source of knowing my culture, my identity. And on top of that, it's like, at the same time, it wasn't really difficult because there's a lot of people around me from East Africa. So seeing how proud they are of their background, Somali, Eritrean, so-and-so, Kenyan, I knew that I had to also represent myself as much as I could. Seeing how proud my brother Wad is of his background, culture, his country, allows me to also expand my view on my own. You know what I'm saying? So growing up, I didn't really look into my background too tough, but obviously I learned it through my mum. So now that obviously I'm older and I can travel more, I'm gonna go back home and see what's going on properly for myself.
So I am American, but I'm also half Spanish. The way I got connected with my Spanish identity was through Spain in the World Cup when I was little, and my family from Spain came to the US and showed me football, showed me Real Madrid, showed me the national team. That's how I began my connection to that country. So if I can do that with Spain, somebody else can do that with Morocco, with Ghana, with Nigeria. So football being the most global sport and really educating you about the world, I 100% think it does that. I was having a chat with my cousin from the UK, and I was explaining how the transatlantic slave trade was about 400 years or longer. That amount of time of purposely being displaced from your culture, it's hard for somebody to immediately know exactly where their roots are. But the efforts are there to obviously, know where you're from. If you've been following my daily vlogs in Morocco, it's an example of an African American coming to Africa and in some way potentially discovering my roots, because I actually might be Moroccan. So I think that's beautiful. I think that's important. That's the search for the belonging that we don't even have in our own country and kind of understanding where we came from hundreds of years ago. So it's a beautiful thing to see. A big shout out to Speed, who's doing the same sort of thing, but obviously on a crazier level because he's going country to country to country and really showing things that we don't see in our country. You're not educated on this in the school. That type of content's not going to be on the news. So I think it's amazing, and it's going to help bridge the diasporic gap between African Americans and Africans on the continent. So I think it's beautiful.
As I built my platform, I wanted to be the light for African football and things topics that people don't speak about. And that was the perfect opportunity to show people back in London what's really going on. No one else is really doing it in London, proper Afcon screenings, everyone around for a Congo match. It's crazy. So it's good to see people turning up and all the people from our culture, our communities, our background coming together to watch football. And it's also good seeing people that not from our background. You're seeing a few guys that are white English guys coming into the screening, watching matches like Congo, Nigeria, which is crazy to me, man. So it's showing a light to Afcon and African football in London.
choosing to represent a national team, you got to go with your heart. I feel like for me it was bigger than football. I feel like I'm representing the millions of people that died for Algeria, you know, in the war, and I'm representing the people living in Algeria and the people that have, you know, moved across all over the world, like my parents. So for me, it was a big decision. From a young age, I remember sitting behind my dad and watching him watch Algeria games, and the way he'd scream and shout in front of the TV as if he's there in the stadium. For me, I always found that interesting, and as I've gotten older, I've kind of realised the meaning and how powerful it is, you know, watching your country play and what it means to the people. So I always relive those memories, and it's a special feeling, especially to witness your country as well win an Afcon, and the way we were celebrating that, it's a feeling that you just can't describe.
Now we are in the city of lights, which is Rabat. The future is happening here. Moroccans are like welcoming, so they're gonna come to you, say hi, welcome to Morocco, invite you for free. And yeah, it's the Moroccan hospitality. We grew up like this, from we are kids.
The customer service is extremely good. The fact that they come to you, bring you a tea, a nice little, I forgot what the tea is called, but that Moroccan tea, voila.
Very welcoming, very welcoming. They want to show you around, they want to show you the city, they want to make sure you're having a good time, you know what I mean? So big up the Moroccan people, Wa Hassan, Dima Maghreb, you know what I mean? All that.
Crazy, bro, it's crazy. Yo, I live in New York City. If you know anything about New York City, we get crazy. And if you know anything about New York City content, Side Talk New York City is Knicks fans wilding after a win. So when I went out in the main streets of Rabat, the capital of Morocco, to celebrate with the Moroccan fans after the quarterfinal win and the semifinal win, it felt like Side Talk New York City, bro. People going crazy, they lighting flares, they playing music, they jumping on each other, they chanting.
Whatever happens at the end of the game is like their emotions can depend on that, the whole country. And even when we won games, like we felt the love, whether that was social media, whether that was in the stadium, we felt how much it meant to our country. Like little things like my parents will receive phone calls from family back home saying how proud they are of me, and it's those little moments as well that make my parents proud and make them happy. So, and it makes me happy as well, knowing that like my whole country was behind me, was behind us as a team. So now it's definitely an unmatched feeling.
Like Brazil, we love to make like dribble. You know, you are from UK, so you know Ta'arab, it's Bufal. And now we have Zazuli. We love make football for fun. We try to be 1v1 and I want to dribble you. I want to be like, to make something and make a pana. This is our culture, we love do that. This is in our blood.
Playing on different surfaces and learning to judge the ball's bounce and learning to move in tight areas, that's a big part of the game. So, you know, I feel like if it wasn't for cage football, if it wasn't for 5s or 7s, I don't think I would have got to where I am today.
Morocco, you can really tell why they're really gonna do well going forward. In terms of style, it's really up there with one of the best footballs that you'll see. It's an attractive style of football. Obviously, you know the North Africans, you know what they're about, man. Huh? Really just jinky-majinky sort of action. That's what we love to see. And that's what people wanna watch. It gets you off your feet.
Samuel Eto'o is someone who, like my dad used to show me videos of when I was growing up, of him playing football, and everyone knows how big he is in our country. So my first interaction was obviously when he first pulled me up about 3 years ago. And obviously I spoke to him on the phone, and I thought that was obviously different from the first time I met him at the next Afcon. So meeting him was, again, like I said, it was surreal because I grew up watching videos of him. I grew up, my dad showing me all like photos of him and stuff like that, and watching him on my screen. So to like little things like to have his number, to engage in conversations with him, it was surreal.
My dad used to always show me older players from older generations. For example, players like Marger and Bellumi. Those players paved the way for players like Mahrez, and those are the people to do it first. And yeah, so for me, I've always appreciated the older generation for paving the way for us.
Obviously, I had an idea to make a jersey with every footballer that's ever worn the number 99 on the back of their t-shirt. Obviously, as Afcon came round, and due to my African heritage, I said, you know what, let me like make a spin-off version that aligns with obviously the Afcon football tournament. And I had a feeling or inkling that other brands wouldn't like make the most of this moment. And so I said, you know what, let me charge at it and see how it goes. What I would say is, I like making clothing, but I don't like making clothing for the sake of making clothing. So things like this is important. It brings a light to obviously my brother's country, the football tournament that's, I say, underrated by a lot of media platforms. And on top of that, it was just natural experience, because I'm not just going to the country and stealing from the culture. My brother was in the lookbook, you get me? He represented it, so if anything, it meant more, you know?
Oh my God, man. It's been quite a journey. I'm proud actually of representing my country. It's the biggest event in Africa. So to be like selected to be the DJ of the Afcon, it's been an honor.
The vibe in the fan parks, everyone's been very friendly, cordial, having a good time. It's literally just been straight vibes, man. And that's what Africa is about, vibes.
Football, music, art, clothing, everything, they all align, innit? Everything comes together, man.
These global artists, they have a lot of fans, a millions and thousands of fans that are following them. So everyone is watching what's happening in Morocco now, because Morocco now is like the bridge for the future. So that's why, one of the reasons why these artists are coming and accepting our invitation to do performance here in Morocco.
Football is a beautiful game for a reason, because it brings the whole world together, man. There's no other sport that does that in the same exact way. You know, so it gives the opportunity. For instance, there's certain countries that have never had history together that are gonna have history. You look at the World Cup coming up.
Can't wait. I think a lot of people don't understand how new football or soccer is in America. So the 1994 World Cup is the last time we hosted. After that World Cup came Major League Soccer, which is our MLS, or like our English Premier League. That's only 30 years, bro. I think it's gonna completely revolutionize the sport in America. And I think the young kids watching, especially young black kids watching this tournament, are gonna be our future legends that can get us to a semifinal or final and win the World Cup. So I think 2026 is gonna change the sport forever in America.
Us being here, even me posting a few snaps, a few TikToks, hopefully that goes and shows another person, bro, can't lie, Afcon 2027, I need to be there, bro. The vibes are lit. Even if I have a small influence, if I influence like 2 or 3 people to come, then I've done my bit.
For me to get into the squad, I've obviously got to play as much as I can and develop as a player. I know the World Cup's coming up in a short time, but you know, it's definitely doable, especially with the way things are right now in Algeria. You know, I feel like we're going through a transitional period where there's younger players coming through, and for me, I'm just trying to work my way in there and earn my spot in the team.
Coming here, told me like, bro, I need to go out there and explore. So now, next Afcon, I'm there. World Cup, I want to be there. Do you get? We need more East African players in the top leagues and stuff like that. So we'll shine a good light on that part of the continent. So Afcon is a perfect opportunity for that.
I definitely think an African nation can win the World Cup, at least within the next few World Cups. You know, the players that are playing in the Afcon are playing at top clubs and in top leagues in Europe and around the world. So I don't see why an African team couldn't win it for the first time.
African football, I think, is definitely at a very big growing point. And I would say this is objectively the biggest Afcon ever and has the most eyes on it, especially in the US. And I think one major reason for it was that 2022 semifinal run by Morocco put the world on blast, and especially I would say the US, and in places like seeing the Moroccans celebrate in Steinway, Queens, and seeing like that kind of representation in our own country of an African team almost going on to win the World Cup. So I would now say Americans are a lot more aware of African football, more tapped in with the players, the teams, the nationalities, and now more Americans are for sure watching Afcon.
Forget about that colonialism, all of that stuff. Nah, eradicate that. We are kings, you get it? We stand as one. You know what I mean? And that's what we need to see, man.